Greetings and welcome back to Switched to Linux. This is Monday and we're doing another Linux Top 5, but actually we're doing a Microsoft Top 4. Haha, tricked you. So today we are talking about the 4 reasons I am removing Microsoft products from my life. Alright, so of course this is Switched to Linux, and I'm not this super anti-Microsoft person, but the problem is there's too many things Microsoft has been doing that concerns me as a user, and the best thing that we can do when a company does something that concerns us is we have to vote with our wallets. In other words, stop using products and services for companies and groups that we completely disagree with. So I've compiled the top 4 reasons why I am leaving Microsoft products in exchange for other platforms, operating systems. Obviously, we are switching to Linux for everything. I'm sporting this video here on Linux Mint Cinnamon, and I have a KDE computer right back behind me here. But what we want to do here is I want to talk about the 4 major reasons, the 4 major things that Microsoft has been doing to really get me to really not want to use their services anymore. All right, so at the top of the list is they are doing the forced updates. Now, they're still... This is a funny article title. This is a fairly new article regarding the new release. At last, Microsoft will stop Windows 10 forced automatic updates. No, they aren't. No, they aren't. It was just, it's less... You have a smaller chance of finding that your entire computer was restarted and all your unsaved work is gone now. That's the only difference. So what happens is when an update comes through, Microsoft will automatically download and install it, and then it was giving you a little tiny bar at the bottom that was easy to ignore, easy to miss, or it could have showed up because, you were sleeping or whatever else. But the default was, hey, I'm going to shut down in a few minutes unless I hear otherwise, and then it'd restart some things, destroy all your unsaved work, etc. Of course, why would you walk away and with unsaved work? But nevertheless, we don't want to go through that annoyance of having those kind of updates. But now what's going to happen is instead of getting this little update, is you will get this full on-screen thing, and you have 3 options. You can restart now, you can pick a time, or you can snooze. Yeah. Well, what's snooze? Well, snooze is it's just going to keep annoying you until you restart the thing. Pick a time, guess what? It can't be 5 years from now. It's pick a time, like next hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, or restart now. That's not exactly, as the article states, they will stop forced automatic updates. No, the automatic updates are still forced. They just give you a little bit more annoying screen, and it will never default to automatically restart. So if this screen pops up right when you happen to close down your computer, if this screen happens to pop up, in the middle of the night, it will be waiting for you in the morning. It will not just automatically force your computer to restart. Okay, so here's the thing about updates. Yes, we should do updates, but the challenge is, especially with Windows 10 right now, is they're not doing different Windows releases. They're adding all of these feature upgrades in, and there's a ton of times I do not want feature upgrades. Give me security updates all day long, but I don't want feature updates. The computer's working fine. Maybe there's some better things. Tell me what services there are that are new feature upgrades, and I'd be glad to look at them, and I very well might. I converted a Linux Mint 17.3 computer to an 18.0 computer because there were some features I wanted to upgrade to. That's a perfectly fine thing, but I want it to be my choice. And with Microsoft, it is automatically downloading them. It's not necessarily installing them automatically until you pick either right now, in the next couple hours, or we're going to annoy you again in a few hours, and so that's kind of the thing. So Microsoft is still forcing updates on us, whether we like it or not, and it's forcing feature updates. I don't want feature updates, okay? I want security updates, and that's about it. That's what I like about Linux systems, is a lot of times I'm just getting the feature updates, and I can very easily choose which one. I can see even right now on the computer there's some updates that I would like to go through, but you know what? It's not nagging me. And if I choose to be dumb and not install them, it's my call. And that's an important thing because, I got news for you. All of these ransomwares that have been going around, they haven't necessarily been hitting the Windows 10 systems, but that's simply because the vulnerabilities just aren't there. Okay, and to be honest, pushing those security updates is important. But when you bundle everything, the security with the feature updates, you're pushing entirely new systems, you're automatically downloading them, you're annoying the users, that is where I draw the line. I can see I have updates. I'll push these updates at my convenience. I don't want to be nagged into doing that. The second reason is the data collection. Whether it is the operating system itself or all of the various things. Did you see the new Skype app wants to periodically send your contacts to Microsoft? Nope. Killed that thing. It wants to automatically do this. They want to collect every bit of data, whether it's through your search terms, whether it's through your interactions, your emails, your contacts, everything. They want to do everything that they possibly can to collect as much possible data because their new marketing model is not to sell you a software, not to sell you an OS. It's to sell your data. It's to sell you to someone else. And I draw the line right there. I do not want Microsoft to be doing that type of data collection. Now, if you know on Windows 10, you cannot turn off the data collection. Okay, there's a lot of Linux distros where if I want to, I can actually go in and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to send some system resource data up to the OS, the distributor every now and again, help them out or whatever else. That should still be my choice. Of course, Ubuntu caused some controversy when they had that feature and the Amazon type feature enabled by default. I don't know, 12, 13, I don't know what edition, but 16, I think it was up to 15. 16, it was still there for people that wanted it, but was disabled by default. With Windows, you have to be on at least the basic level of data collection. Okay, the basic level of data collection. This is their basic level of data collection. I feel like the Energizer Bunny. Okay, we are less than 10% through. This is the basic data collection your Windows 10 computer does on you. You cannot turn this off. This is insane. This is crazy. We've hit 30%. I'm just going to grab the scroll bar and go. That's basic. Way to go, Microsoft. That's basic. So the basic user level of data, it's collecting a boatload of information. A lot of information. You cannot turn this off. You cannot stop it from collecting that data. Now, it's not just this data. They've also bought LinkedIn so they can have all that data that you feed it like Facebook. Skype, of course, are collecting data through that. They're collecting data through all of the other applications. And now they're even getting into the education business so they can collect data on your children as they grow up. That's a little disconcerting to me. So I really don't want to really give Microsoft any more data about me than they already have. Third is it kills or annihilates services that work perfectly fine. Why? Because they either want more data or are trying to be something. I don't know what the deal is. But looking at what they just did with Skype, I mean, come on. They took Skype, which was an app that was used by a lot of professionals to simply do quick voice calls, do some quick chatting back and forth, and then what happens? They turn it into some Snapchat thing, rainbowy, very unprofessional rainbowy colors, all these highlights, even cards you had to view and dismiss before you could actually get into the contacts. And, of course, the thing's going to send your contacts back to, Microsoft. And so they're just using it to collect a whole lot more data, trying to turn it into one of these other applications like WhatsApp or whatever else. And it's just like Snapchat, WhatsApp, whatever clones. Guys, those Snapchat, WhatsApp, they exist already. Don't take a perfectly good program and destroy it because either A, you want to be more hip with the teenage girls, or B, you're trying to collect a whole lot more data. You already got a lot of data off of Skype, you know? But they're killing all these applications. As soon as I saw they bought LinkedIn, that's when I deleted my account. Unfortunately, because of how things work, they probably still already have that data. But, you know, for whatever it's worth, I'm certainly not giving them any more, and I'm certainly not giving them an activated account. And then number 4 is the forced walled garden. So Windows 10s is coming. And I believe with other people that Windows 10s is going to be essentially the exact default computer you're going to get. They're going to give this out way cheaper if it costs anything for an OEM computer manufacturer like your Lenovo's or your Dell's or whatever else to pre-install. And so whenever you buy a Windows computer in the future, this is my estimation, my thinking, that when you purchase that computer, you bring that home, it has Windows 10s. The problem with Windows 10s is it is a completely total walled garden. You cannot edit the host file, which is very important if you want to limit advertising tracking. Not that Microsoft actually obeys the host file where its services are concerned, but you could block Facebook tracking on the host file. You can't edit that on Windows 10s. You cannot install anything that is not part of the Microsoft store, which means you're going to be buying more things, or developers have to meet Microsoft guidelines or give a large percentage of their sale to Microsoft in order to list it on the store. Even if you can install an extra web browser, there's a few you could download, but you cannot change the default. The default web browser has to be Edge. The default search engine has to be Bing. You are being handed an operating system you cannot control. Now, you could pay some extra money to upgrade to the Pro version from S. I'm pretty sure that's always going to be there, but that just means that you bring home the computer and you have to pay Microsoft more money to get the computer you really wanted. And so they're forcing everybody into this walled garden, this platform you cannot make your own. It's not yours to install programs on it. And in reality, it's really not all that more secure. You know, within a day of its actual release, was it CNET? I forget exactly who it was. Got a copy, gave it to an ethical hacker, and he hacked into it. One day. It's not any better. It's just a walled garden that Microsoft can control more things. So there you have it. Those are my 4 reasons why I am not interested in using Microsoft products, so why I'm removing their services and products from my life. So I'm still using Skype. I have an old Hotmail since way before they've used it that I still use for junk mail stuff. So I don't know if I'll keep that or not. The only reason I still can tolerate it is because I've set it up to check on Thunderbird, so I can check it there. If I had to log into that web portal, thing is the biggest train wreck of a website I've seen in years, and I'm a developer. But anyway, those are my reasons. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can check out the links below. You can find me on Patreon, patreon.com/TomM, or check out the links below for the Amazon link there. That'll take you to the main Amazon store. And also, if you want to follow up on some other things, I do have videos on most of these topics here that we were talking about. I'll go ahead and link those in here as well. And I hope that you enjoy switching to something other than Microsoft, as much as you possibly can at least. So with that, thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.